I'm even getting hot. Okay, let's go for this. And I think this thing is too zoomed in. But this is a different setup today, guys. I haven't got the whole kit. And I just want to get this video out because it's pressed upon my heart. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Graven on his palms. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for joining me on this pilgrim journey. I pray that you'll be blessed by what I'm about to share. So today I want to share with you a story, and I hope you can hear me because like I said, it's a different setup and you're really far away. So I'm going to try and project my voice. Sorry if it sounds like I'm shouting. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. So we're going to talk about King Solomon. And I know some of you have heard of King Solomon before. Some of you haven't, but he was a king of Israel and he is known to be the wisest king that ever was. So we're going to talk about him now. As I was reading his story, something stood out. Something stood out and I want to share it with you. So 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 23 and 24. This is what it says about Solomon. It says, so King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. Verse 24, and all the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. Right? So he had wisdom like no other. The kings and even the Queen of Sheba, I believe, came just to see his wisdom and they were just in awe. I think it talks about the Queen. I'm saying Queen of Sheba. I really hope it's the Queen of Sheba. But it talks about the Queen, because where's that name coming from? Yes, the Queen of Sheba even coming to him. She had no words. She was just in awe like, what? This is just, she was like, I heard about you, but what I heard about you was nothing like what I'm seeing. This is amazing. You know, your wisdom is amazing. Well, in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1, it says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, unbeliever, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely, listen, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. What did God say? I want us to be sure, because sometimes we're deceived into thinking it's okay to marry the unbeliever. God will work it out. He knows my heart, X, Y, Z. But remember, God is not a man that he should lie. What did he say? He said, you shall not go into them, in unto them. My people, God's people. He's saying, my people, Israel, do not go in unto an unbeliever. Why? For surely, this is not if, buts, or maybes, friend. He says, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. That means it is sure that our hearts will be turned away from God if we unite with an unbeliever in marriage. It is sure. It is as sure as the very, I don't even know, but it's surer than sure because God said it. And so this is what will happen. Definitely. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes. Oh, look at this person. It seemed to work out well. Look at that person. They're doing great things and that person was an unbeliever. Do not follow what you see. Thus saith the Lord, that your heart, my heart, if it should go unite with an unbeliever in marriage, we will turn away from God. Fact. Now, what happened to Solomon? Solomon was the wise. Remember, he was the wisest out of all the earth. Solomon. This is the wise man this is happening to. Solomon that was so wise, there's nothing that could deceive him. He had wisdom straight from God that God put in his heart. That's what the Bible said God put in his heart that wisdom. So surely he couldn't be deceived, even if he united with an unbeliever. Well, let's look at the story. It said in verse 3, 1 Kings 11 verse 3, and he, being Solomon, had 700 wives. That's another discussion. Princesses and 300 concubines. And his wife turned away his heart. What? His wives turned away his heart. Wait, Solomon's the wisest. What's happening? His wives turned away his heart. Can someone tell me which one of us are wiser than Solomon? Any takers? I'm not taking that. Who can be wiser than Solomon, who is known as the wisest man, right? But his heart was turned away from God. Friends, if we unite with unbelievers in marriage, it doesn't matter how sweet that person seems, how much they might respect your religion, because that's what I hear from people. Oh, but he respects my faith. You know, he's kind, he's respectful of my faith. That doesn't mean a thing. If he doesn't choose Christ to live in his heart, if he hasn't made that decision, then whether he respects your religion or not, your heart, by uniting with him, will be turned away from God. That's what God says. The question is, do we believe it? Now, when did this take place? Because, you know, Satan is subtle. Satan is very subtle. Very subtle. And that's why he gets away with what he gets away with. Solomon, he united with these unbelievers. But when was it exactly that they turned away his heart from God? This is so crucial for us to understand. And we're going to read. In verse 4, it says, for it came to pass when Solomon was old. Sorry, when I read this, I said, that's what it is. I said, that's what it is, Lord. That's what it is. Let's listen to what happened. 1 Kings 11 verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. It was when Solomon was old. To be old is a vulnerable age, friends. It's when he was most vulnerable. Because remember, this is the wisest man. You can't just deceive him anyhow. But when he was old, or when he was in this state of vulnerability, his heart was turned away from God by his wives. The reason why many people do it is because they've seen other people do it, and the two people seem to be doing just fine, right? But wait until crisis strikes. Wait until disappointment strikes. Wait until problem strikes. When you're at your most vulnerable, maybe it will be when grief comes. Maybe it will be when trouble comes. Maybe it will be when financial difficulties come. But then is when your heart will be turned away from God in one way or another. And it happened to the wisest man that lived. So who's to say it won't happen to you, or that it would be any different for you? Friends, when we venture upon Satan's ground, anything is possible. The things that we think we will not do, that we have never thought to do or never thought possible for us to do, we will be surprised that we do them. And this is why God is saying from beforehand, do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. Your heart will turn away from me. And so if you are a Christian and you're desiring to be where God is, you're desiring for him to live in your heart, when it comes to this decision of marriage, consider it in light of the word of God. Pray about it and just ask the Lord to guide, because this decision affects our life here and the life to come. In Proverbs 3 verse 7 to 8, it reads, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. Verse 8, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Take care, friends. God bless. Until next time, remember that you are graven on his palms, and whatever concerns you concerns the Lord. Take care. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.